All right. Had to make sure the sound was right. All right. Let's see what's going on in your energy. My name is Ari, the Healing Empress. All right, and let's see what's going on in this week. Let's see what's going on in this week. All right, flowing, going with the flow. All right, so Spirit is asking you to go with the flow. All right, something is getting ready to happen for you. But Spirit is asking you to be into the now. Be into the now. All right. Gathering together, community power. All right, something is coming together. Somebody could have came together to try to ruin something for you. All right, but God is getting ready to show up for you. All right, you're getting ready to find out about some deep inner truth. All right, that's going to push you forward. All right, it's a sudden shock, heavy burden. So this could be something that could make you feel some type of way, but it's still pushing you to a new beginning. All right, it's almost like you'll know which direction that you're supposed to be going in. All right, something about you not being boastful. All right, approach. There's an opportunity coming towards you, and this is because you have humbled yourself. All right, you could have always been a humble person, and now God is getting ready to bless you. All right, receptive support. All right, then I got feminine energy. I feel like you're receiving genuine people around you. All right, there's a lot of genuine people that are wanting to be around you. And then we got there's something, some sort of contract. You are attracting something. All right, you're attracting some sort of contract. All right, and whatever this contract is, Spirit is asking you to make sure you are not confused when it comes to the details. All right, but it's a commitment that carries some sort of weight. All right, so it's not going to be anything um, non-worthy, is what I'm hearing. All right, this is strictly for you. It's like a door is opening for you and you only. All right. This is an opportunity, especially for you. This is something that you prayed for. All right. This is something that you've been waiting on, and it's coming when you least expect it. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Where these cards go? Okay. All right. Fellowship. Again, something's coming together. What's going on? All right. If you are interested on the spot read, all right, on the spot reads are $15, but if you're wanting a full moon read, all right, which is full moon reads are $20, all right. But if you are wanting a on the spot reading and a full moon read, which is a 30-minute read, those are $20, all right, for both of them, all right. Let's see, inspired action. All right, something's getting ready to happen that is going to inspire you to move forward. All right, heavy burdens. Yeah, you got heavy burdens that's getting ready to be lifted. All right. Strategic withdrawals. You have to withdraw yourself from people who was basically bringing burdens in your life in order for you to be able to make room. All right, from some sort of abundance that is coming your way. All right. Small actions matter. All right. So small actions matter. Somebody's been working on themselves. Somebody has been working on themselves. See. All right, it's something about careful steps. It's something that you did carefully. It's something that you did carefully. All right, and it could just be you working on yourself. Again, that led you straight to some sort of abundance. All right, I'm hearing just self made, is what I'm hearing. Manifesting absolutely a bunch of things out of nothing. Okay? All right, let's see. What's coming this week, or what can we see signs for this week? All right, for this personal read. All right, something changing with your job and your career. Resume, the resume presentation matters. All right, so there's some sort of Spirit wants you to polish up your image. All right, change something about yourself. All right, whether it's something about your hair, or something about the way that you wear something, or the things that you wear. Spirit is saying, switch up, change your look. All right, reinvent yourself is what I'm getting. All right. If you are wanting a full moon read plus a on the spot read, all right, together $20 at this time. All right, so you get two readings for the price of one. All right, general wealth is here. You're walking into something different. This is why Spirit wants you to change something about yourself. All right, royal inheritance because your life is getting ready to be different. All right, who you were in the past isn't who you are at this time. All right, you're receiving a lot. All right, second chance, an opportunity is returning, and this could be an opportunity at having all the things that you wanted in life. All right, and you being able to do them. All right, a lot of y'all finna get some crazy, crazy ass opportunities. That's gonna allow you to live your life the way that you want to. All right, with no restrictions. Okay, an unexpected offer. Something is coming in suddenly. All right, so something is coming in that you're not thinking about it. You know, you could be thinking about it, or you're just not knowing how something is coming in, and then you're finna get the shock of your life. All right. It says you got the job, success, acceptance, and a green light. All right. So you're getting ready to know again which direction that spirit wants to move you in. All right. Divine timing. Not denied, just not yet. All right. So you've been waiting for a while. All right, for something, but success, abundance is here, and you are aligned for it. All right. So you are aligned for this. What's going on? Hello. All right. If you are interested in a full moon read, all right, they are $15. All right. They were $20, but if you're wanting a on the spot read as well, which is $15, you can get both reads for 20. If you are interested, you said I haven't forgotten you. What do you mean? All right, the dream gate. Message through dreams. All right, so you could be just leaving a lot of messages through your dreams, your vision. All right, your subconscious. This card can point to intuition, dreams about a person, relationship, or emotional patterns. Pay attention to what your spirit is showing you. All right, so spirit could be showing you a lot of things within your dreams. All right, or within your visions. You know, you could just be daydreaming. All right, and something could come across your mind. Spirit is trying to tell you something about someone. All right, the Ankh of Destiny. Oh, okay. It will all be greatly appreciated. The Ankh of Destiny, divine life, force, spiritual completion, sacred alignment. This is all the final blessing. All right, so this is the final blessing card. All right, you're aligned for some sort of purpose. All right, divine protection and a relationship lesson or a chapter reaching a sacred understanding. So it's almost like you are to the end of a long journey, right? One that you wanted to be. Oh, okay, okay. One that you just wanted to get out of. It's like, okay, I learned my lessons. I really don't want to be on this journey no more. Oh, well, that's wonderful. You like the second person. That's wonderful. And look, the next card that came out was the inheritance. All right, that was passed down emotionally, spiritually, materially. This card asks what you have inherited in love. All right, fear, resilience, devotion, silence, strength, or pain. All right, I keep the wisdom and release the wounds. All right, so you are keeping what you learned. All right, you're not holding in the pain, just what you learn from going through. All right, full moon reads right now. The day is the last day for the full moon reads. All right, full moon reads are $20. Full moon reads are $20, and the day is the last day. All right, sacred mirror, reflection, mirroring, and self awareness. This card reveals that a connection is reflecting something back at your wounds. All right, so something is triggering you, desires, fears, or growth. All right, so somebody could be projecting on you, but it's triggering something in you, which is showing you what you need to work on. All right, and here's the affirmation that you can say: I allow love to reveal me. Oh no, it says I allow love to reveal me to myself honestly. All right, I allow love to reveal me to myself honestly. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, House of Spirits, the portal, transition, energetic shift, and entering a new chapter. You are crossing into a new season of love, healing, and spiritual growth. A connection may also be evolving into something different. All right, I move boldly into the next chapter that's meant for me. All right, so something getting ready to change directions. All right, something's getting some sort of upgrade though. It's like an upgraded direction. All right, the exile, rejection, emotional isolation, being pushed away. All right, someone maybe feel shut out, abandoned, or disconnected. This can also point to the needing a time alone to gain clarity. All right, so you're getting ready to come out of that because I know you've already been in isolation. All right, so you had to go in isolation to get clarity of what's going on and be able to hear God's words. All right, and the portal came out again. Transition, energetic shifts. You're entering a new chapter. All right, so you're definitely getting ready to enter a new chapter in your life. All right, that's beautiful. All right, where my other cards at? Yeah. Oh, here I go. Okay. You say you trying to fast for 3 days. That'll definitely bring a change in. All right, sun child. I was born to rise and shine and be seen. All right, this is about confidence, visibility, purpose, joy, success. You are meant not to hide your gift. Let yourself be a witness to you fully. All right, so Spirit is asking you to be yourself. All right, be exactly who you are. All right, and do that shit proudly, is what I'm hearing. Ancestral wealth. Prosperity flows through my bloodline and into my life. Abundance, stability, success, inheritance, energy, and breaking poverty patterns. Wealth is not separate from spirituality. All right, it can be sacred too. All right, let's see. All right, does anyone want a full moon read? Does anybody want a full moon read and a on the spot? All right, you can get an on the spot read now. All right, and then I'll also send you your 30-minute video. All right, for your full moon. All right, and that's $20 for both. All right, 15 separately. All right, yeah, ancestral wealth came out again, so prosperity is flowing through. You're getting ready to receive something. All right, Cobra Crown. I wear my power boldly and protect my sacred space fiercely. All right, and this talks about fierce feminine energy, spiritual authority, boundaries, and awakened power. You are being called to stop dimming your light or your edge. All right, protection is not harnessing its wisdom. All right, and then we have sacred voice. All right, my words hold truth, power, and divine command. Your voice is powerful. This card is about speaking clearly and setting boundaries. All right, and setting boundaries, affirming your wealth and worth, and using words with authority and intentions. All right, so let's see. Where's my other card? Let me see. I'm gonna use my other one. Okay, here we go. I'm looking right at it. There's two more here I want to use. Let me use that one last. All right, let's see. All right, Spirit's going to give you some sort of green light on the situation, so you're going to know that you can be able to move forward. All right, there's a choice. A choice is asking you to define yourself. All right, there's a choice that's asking you to define yourself. So it's like you're going to be given a choice, but which one actually defines your purpose? Which one is right for you? All right, and it says not yet. All right, timing matters more than force right now. So it's all about divine timing. All right, sometimes we may want things right now, but Spirit is all about divine timing. All right, a choice is asking you to define yourself. So you definitely got a choice that has to be made. All right, within the next week. Spirit is asking you to see the red flags. All right. Pause before action. Not every feeling needs immediate response. All right. Sometimes when somebody piss you off, you may not have to say something right then. Spirit is wanting you to wait. All right, because what you thought you wanted or had to say, you may not even feel the need to. All right. Solid foundation. This has the structure the whole weight. All right. So whatever it is that you are building, it has the structure to hold weight. All right. False urgency. If it's truly for you, panic won't need to sell it. All right, be careful of people trying to rush you into things. All right, because what if it has to be rushed, then it's not yours. What's yours don't have to be rushed. All right, inner knowing. Pause before action. All right, not every feeling needs an immediate response. All right, that just lets me know that somebody could possibly be triggering you. All right. Somebody could possibly be triggering you, and somebody's constantly trying to trigger you over and over again. Okay, then that's the type of person that you definitely need to disconnect from. Protection, boundaries, and power. Protect your energy. Not every space deserves your access. All right, not every person deserves your access. Spirit just want you to follow your inner knowing. All right, because you already know. A lot of times we already know, and we still come to Spirit, and that's the Spirit for an answer when Spirit has given us the answer. All right, clear intentions. What is in front of you is direct and honest. All right, and Spirit is asking you to move accordingly. All right, you've seen enough, and Spirit is saying act like it. All right, you're supported. Spirit is spiritually and energetic backing whatever this is that's coming towards you. All right, so keep moving forward. I'm gonna pull a few of these other cards. All right, and then I'm going to end this reading. All right, if anybody is on here interested in a reading, please let me know. All right, if you are interested in a full moon reads are $20. All right, I'm sorry, $15. All right, now. All right, they were $15. All right, but if you're wanting a on the spot read and on the spot read, which is $15. All right, if you're wanting a full moon read and a on the spot reading, $20. All right, for two readings. All right, star here. Let's see. Okay. All right, so let's see. All right, inner peace, patience, taming your inner wild. All right, it's something that you had to tame about yourself. All right, you had to tame your inner wild. All right, before Spirit Before Spirit is able to bring you something, Spirit basically had to calm you, all right, and show you how to not let certain things get to you. All right, Ace of Bongs is here, emotional renewal. All right, love flows freely. Love flows freely. All right, truth, logic, leadership through clarity. All right. All right, then we have fast movement here. Good news, go time. You're getting ready to move forward. All right, the lovers here. There's some sort of harmonious connection. All right, love past the joint. All right, heartbreak and disappointment and pain. Somebody is very upset at this time. All right, because you are able to manifest the things that you're wanting to manifest into your life. All right, you're gonna have a lot of people pissed off because you're receiving the things that you want. All right, growth, creativity, motherly vibes, and lush garden. All right, so somebody don't like the fact that you're receiving everything that you want. All right, somebody's getting ready to travel. All right, again, there's fast movement and good news. All right, it's go time. You got a lot of people. I always say if I'm doing a reading for you, and there's some sort of dumbass or idiot that comes in your reading, just know that you are on your right path and God is getting ready to do something for you. All right, that's always a sign, always. The world is here. Completion, wholeness, victory, mission. All right, rolled up. Yeah, you got a victory lap. You completed something and now you're getting ready to go to the next level. All right. And this is your reading. Is there anybody else that would like a reading before I end the live? Again, the full moon reads are $20. All right. Full moon reads are $20. If you are wanting a on the spot read, those are 15. If you're wanting a full moon read and you want a on the spot read, then it will be $20 for both of them. All right, and that ends tonight. All right, tonight is the last night that I'm doing full moon readings. All right, if you just want a on the spot read, those are available as well. Those are 15. Love reads are 10. All right, if you book a full moon read, then you get all of that plus the love read. All right, is there anybody that's interested? If not, so I'm going to go ahead and end this live.